everyone, Soundwave884 here, and this is Blast from the Past review. Instead of looking at Transformers, I'm actually going to branch out and look at something totally different from the 1990s. Here is Jakks Pacific WWF figures. This is the SummerSlam 99 Wave WWF Grudge Match 2-pack Hardcore Holly against Al Snow. And Al Snow does come with head. These figures here do feature bone crunching action. And look at the price point back then, $9.99 at Kmart for a 2-pack of action figures or wrestlers. Now articulation back this time, it was not as much of what we get now from the Mattels and from Jakks Pacific later in their own lines. Now wrestling figures here, I got this off of eBay. Now, I do have nostalgia for the earlier bone-crunching action Jakks Pacific. I was engaged to some other girl. I was living with her way down south, and she was into Barbie collecting, and I was into the late 90s Monday Night War wrestling, and I got a lot of wrestling figures. I was into that and starting lines. Transformers really was, at that point, was Beast Wars, you know, Machine Wars, and I get transitioned to Beast Machines. I did get some Beast Wars, but I wasn't that big into the toys, but I did love the show. So I was into the, like, wrestling was my big thing at the time for collecting. So I started collecting all these wrestlers, and I eventually sold them all off as I got older. And now I'm starting to get back into trying to collect wrestlers from my nostalgic past, some I have a nostalgic connection to. I have a nostalgic connection to this kind of wrestling figure here, just from that time period in life, and I'm kind of trying to relive some of the glory days as I get older. I go back and get some. So I got this off of eBay. I read the description, and it did say the plastic was loose on the bottom, which it is, but it does seem like this actually got water damaged. You turn to the back, you see how it's very wavy here. You can see it got wet at some point in time, and it really ruined the back. But yeah, looking at the back of this package here really threw me back in time, almost like 25 years ago. You see all the wrestlers up here. I don't have all this and stuff nowadays, but it was really cool back then. So I wasn't going to open it, but since I got this now, and it's got a lot of damage, and it's already got loose plastic in here, I thought, might as well just take these suckers right out, and why not review them on my channel. So, Jakks Pacific, this is the old Jakks Pacific logo here. And I said Kmart SummerSlam 99. I'm going to pull these guys right out of here. There's not any more like stuff I'm going to be surprised at. I got actually a collector's card on the inside here as well, which I'll probably just leave that in the package. Now with them out of the package here, it's like some yellow tint to the plastic. These guys out, they do seem to have like, I don't know about the mold on the figures, but I can clean these guys out. Snow head. Looking at the picture online, I couldn't really see that kind of all that damaged stuff like that, but help me. I got it on the head. They have helped me written pretty much the right way. But Al Snow, it's just like someone took a stamp and stamped help me upside down on his head. So yeah, it's a little weird. I think they could have done better with that on actual Al Snow. It does have some little black stuff here. I'm gonna have to try to clean that off. Mom paid like 12 bucks for this, free shipping, so I'm not too upset about it at all. It's not like I spent a whole crap ton of money. Now the thing with this line of figures here, they didn't stand up very well. These were made to be played with. These were made to, you know, put on your shelves and look at. These were made to actually be played with. And a lot of the earlier Jakks from the bone crunching line, you know, they had like loose joints. Joints here are pretty tight. He's got a loose waist. His joints are pretty good. I actually bought these from the start in 1996 when they first came out with Bret Hart and all them. And I got those. And I just got even more when I, was living with my girl and she was buying Barbie and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I'll get these. Since you're collecting that, I'll collect this. So we got head, Hardcore Holly. Head sculpts on these were not always the best as well. They didn't always look like the character they were trying to portray. It's decent enough. I said these were meant to be played with. These were toys back then. They weren't made for collectability. I mean, you collect them, but they weren't made to look awesome on a shelf because they don't stand very well. At least Al Snow doesn't. He wants to fall over. They don't have that many joints and all that stuff. These are meant to be played with. They have that bone crunching features here. We can take their elbows. Yeah. You get a little breaking, so you can break their knees, break their elbows. Sometimes you get to figure like one of the joints on the bone crunching sounds wouldn't bone crunch as much. See, so articulation, you get the head you can turn, you got shoulders, you got the waist, you got the hip movements, front and back. Back not as far because of the butt. And that's it. That's your articulation on these figures. But they got the hard plastic, the chest piece, torsos, and the crotch. And it's like a softer plastic here, almost rubbery, for all the legs and the joints here. The heads can be harder or softer. He's got a harder head too. So you get them to hit, and they can actually pretty much do their moves as well. He's pretty stiff. Let's see, he got his bone crunching. Yeah, see, his elbow there is not doing it. Let's try the other one. No. Oh, that's a good one. Go in there. Go in there. Yeah, so his right arm doesn't bone crunch. But yeah, you can actually get them to do the wrestling moves, body slams, elbow drops. That's what these guys are made for. These guys are made for wrestling. So back in the 1990s, Jakks was pretty much pumping these figures out left and right. So many different iterations, every different, you know, uniform or outfit they would wear, tights, all that kind of stuff. If X-Pac was out in red and black and white, and then green, black and white. So many different Stone Cold Steve Austins, The Rocks, Undertakers. We got so many different versions of each character. There's just so many toys out there. I remember going to Walmart's, Kmart's, KB Toys in the mall was really big. About every weekend, every payday, we'd run to KB Toys. She would pick out a new outfit for her doll. And I would pick out usually a new wrestling figure for my collection. I'll go to look at Holly's trunks. It says Job Squad. This one, they were all in the Job Squad before Holly started branching out, and him and Al Snow went off like on the hardcore titles and stuff like that. Got the eyes there. Bringing in Al Snow with head. Help me. You can kind of pin it on his fingers if you want him to hold head. He says property of the Job Squad. Of course, the only thing that bugs me on this figure, pretty much, he's got a worse head sculpt in my opinion than Hardcore Holly is the help me up here. It just looks weird. Back, you like the little indentions in the clothes. Down here, knee pads, boots. Very simplistic toys. Like I said, these were just made for wrestling. Get the moves on them. Slam them down. Yes, I was, older. I wasn't a kid. But it was fun. It was just something to do. It was a hobby. Instead of going out partying and wasting money on booze and stuff like that, we went out and wasted money on toys. And that has become my life now. Running out, wasting money on toys. So this is a quick blast from the past review. Just looking at some old classic Jakks Pacific bone-crunching wrestlers from the late 1990s. Now they did transition in the early 2000s to a more realistic style action figure. There were the Titantron Live versions, and they did like real head scans and stuff like that. And then they transitioned into the classic WWF Superstars or WWE Superstar line. And then eventually Jakks lost the license, which Mattel picked up and has run with the ball ever since. It's probably the very late 2000s, around 2010 when Mattel got that license. And they have been knocking these out of the park as well ever since. So it's a quick review. Flash in the past. Are you into any of these kind of wrestling figures? You can let me know down in the comments below. And I'm just trying to do these to branch out my channel, do other things besides just Transformers. I want to focus on more of the things that I enjoyed or have nostalgia for in my life. Thanks for watching. Until the next one. Peace out.